Digital Galaxy Podcast runs on Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. So let me explain. First of all, it's free. Second, there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Hey astronauts, welcome to the Digital Galaxy Podcast. I'm your pilot, Justin.
And I'm your co-pilot, Paul. Buckle up because today in episode 34, we're discussing recycling technology. We're celebrating Earth Day here at the Digital Galaxy Podcast.
Yes.
The information in this episode comes from CNET.com, the Minneapolis Star Tribune, and the Mayer Alloy Corporation. So, Justin, can you fill the crew in on why recycling your old electronics is a good thing?
Well, recycling anything is a good thing, but
For
absolutely.
sure.
If electronics like cell phones, TVs, computers are mostly disposed of, they can end up in a landfill. When those
hmm
devices break or crack, they leak toxic materials like lead, zinc, chromium, and a ton of other hazardous materials into the ground that can lead right into groundwater deposits, affecting pretty much everything on the planet.
Absolutely. What kind of effects do these hazardous materials have on people?
So, according to the Mayer Alloy Corporation, which is a company that recycles electronics, there can be some nasty ramifications. Quote, specifically with lead, if released into the environment, can cause damage to human blood, kidneys, as well as central and peripheral nervous systems, end quote.
It's-
So, those materials are most prevalent in cell phones and computers, by the way.
yeah, yeah. If you think about it, I mean, almost everyone you know probably has a cell phone, and I'm sure it's not the first one they've ever had either. I know myself, I've owned at least seven probably in my lifetime and a few computers as well. But according to the same article, quote, only 10% of cell phones are recycled in the United States, and most Americans get new cell phones every 12 to 18 months, end quote. So, Justin, what can we do about this problem? How should we handle recycling our electronics?
So the easiest way to recycle batteries, the easiest one to recycle is batteries.
Mhm,
So
for sure.
most electronics have rechargeable batteries, but everyday electronics require the use of lithium batteries, such as AA's, AAA's, etc. Those are disposable. So stores like
Mhm.
Whole Foods, Home Depot, Lowe's, Staples have drop-offs for dead batteries.
What should people do about their cell phones?
So you can always sell them. That's technically
Yeah,
recycling. But
true.
if it's dead or super, super old, there are a couple of options. You can bring them to Best Buy or Home Depot. Whole Foods works with, quote, Secure the Call, which gives phones to senior citizens.
hmm
So you can donate gently used phones to Cell Phones for Soldiers as well, which helps service members call their families for free, which I mean, it's a lot easier to connect with people overseas now than it was when
hmm
I was a kid, but I hated going all the way like once every 3 months going to go talk to my dad on Skype. So, yeah, do that.
Yeah, I mean, if they have those cell phones for free, especially, it's huge, and there's a lot of cool ways that you can donate your phone.
Yeah.
So, what about some of the bigger items like computers or TVs?
Okay, so computers can be donated to a local Goodwill store. You can find a location using the Dell Goodwill Reconnect program. You
hmm
can type in your zip code, find a location near you. I would recommend taking all of your personal information off the computer and cell phones as well,
Yeah, yeah.
because obviously you don't want any photos or anything like that. So reset those
hmm
phones to factory default if you can. TVs are a different story though. They are harder to recycle and usually cost money to dispose of. Check with your local trash collection agency to see if they have any electronic pickup
hmm
service. You could take them to Best Buy as well. They could charge you for taking the TV off your hands.
Yeah, I think they usually charge around $30 or so, which is not too bad.
No,
Uh,
go.
yeah, those large screens carry a lot of hazardous waste, and if you crack the screen, they can easily leak. So be careful, when handling those or taking them to the store. It looks like there's a bunch of different options though for recycling technology. It definitely takes a bit more effort than just throwing it out, of course. However, the benefits outweigh the negative effects of them ending up in the landfill. I would suggest doing a factory reset even on smart TVs, just like Justin said, on smartphones, because it does have some of your information and login information on there. But I do want to change gears here for a second. With all these devices having batteries and the need to be recycled, I wonder if there's a better way to reuse some of this material. And Justin, what about like electric car batteries? Because those are a lot more prevalent these days.
Yeah, so some companies are planning on harvesting batteries used from e vehicles. According to
Mhm.
the Minneapolis Tribune, the company Big Rock Exploration wants to mine garbage and find metals for EV batteries.
Hmm.
A report from the U.S. Department of Energy states that, quote, 60% of the world's cobalt is mined from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and 80% of that supply is processed in China, end quote. So there's a major need for local recycling for these precious metals.
Absolutely. According to the same article, quote, the National Laboratory in Lamont, Illinois, has a resell center that, working with academia, industry, and other national laboratories, is advancing recycling methods to improve the economics of battery recycling for the life cycle of current and future battery technology, end quote. So it sounds like, there are organizations, working on recycling those huge, batteries and getting that material that, like you said, a lot of it is, we have to get it from Congo or and it's processed in China. So getting it locally may help us out a lot.
Absolutely. And I don't know how much truth there is to this, but I do remember reading somewhere on Twitter that dead Tesla batteries are harvested and used as a backup in case the entire United States power grid goes down.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, let's hope that's a real thing.
I hope so too.
So, in summary, there's a major problem with electronic waste. There are several ways to recycle those items, like mobile devices, computers, TVs, and even computer cables. The companies in the U.S. are looking for ways to mine rare materials that are used in those electronic devices, especially the materials used for EV car batteries.
Well, guys, that about wraps it up for today's episode. Don't forget to follow our channels on Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iTunes. You can also find this episode in the written form on our website, digitalgalaxypodcast.com. This episode was created by Clearo, a social media app where you are in charge of your data and community. Check it out at clearo.app. Thanks for coming along on our journey, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, carry a nice big water bottle and bring a wooden fork with you everywhere you go if you can.
Happy Earth Day.
Yes. Have a good one, guys.